Welcome to the Rooted Loft episode 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think
2.5.
2.5, or maybe just two. I don't know.
2.5.
But I'm Alex Campbell, and this is my wife Amy Campbell. Been married for quite a while now. Wherever you are and however you may be tuning in, I want to thank you for making part of us part of your day. Let's go ahead and get started.
All right. So we're starting with some tariff information, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to get the tariffs out there.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
So he's going through with I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say the name.
Okay.
He's going through with the 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada, and then a special announcement today, a 25% tariff on all cars shipped to the United States.
Now, what do you think that's going to do for like the car business? I mean,
there is absolutely no question.
Is this to resurge used cars?
So I don't think it's it's the reason for it is to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. But I think the reality is it's going to cause like a very short term, like, almost recession, like, at least in a lot of industries,
but we hate
that
the
are
R
affected
word.
by it. I know. But in a lot of industries that are affected by it. But the thing is that even if you get jobs back, it's probably going to take the better part of a decade to get that many jobs back, to establish the factories. You know what I mean? So I just don't think that, like, again, and it kind of goes in line with the rest of the stuff that they're doing. Like, it's all seems to be a slapdash. You know what I mean? Let's charge in like a bull in a china shop. You know what I mean?
It's see what's left.
Frankly, you know what it is?
We'll see. But after everything happens, we'll see what's left.
Trump has clearly, and there I said the word, but whatever. Trump has clearly lived a life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of, like, I would rather ask for forgiveness than permission. And then eventually that turned into, I'm just going to do whatever and not even asking for forgiveness.
Well, he lives his life based on Roy Cohen's.
Well, yeah.
You know,
but
definition.
I don't want to go through like,
right.
Right. But like, no, but I'm just saying, like, that's clear, because everything that's being done is like, and I think even people that support him can agree, it's been like 8 weeks, 9 weeks or whatever, right?
It's been a crazy ride.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we've lost track of time at this point. I mean, it's so crazy.
The ramping up of every single, like, first 100 days, issue into, like, we've got to accomplish the greater part of it in 72 hours.
I've got to sign all this stuff.
We got to sign 1 million documents, even though, like, they know full and well it's going to get pushed back by judges and, like, in part Congress.
Did you see Elon did this thing today where he said that he got a $1 million donation to start, like, going after the judges, because it's the judges now. They have too much personal.
Right. No red flags here.
No red flags.
No
Elon's
red flags.
just doing Elon.
Well, we're putting bounties on judges, but no red flags.
Right. What?
Bounty gate, round 2.
I don't know. And I think the rest of you are well aware. Yeah. Like, this is quite the time. It's wild times to be living in.
On the heels, like, I mean, seriously, you can't make this shit up. On the heels of the whole Houthi attack plan being shared.
Oh my gosh.
In a
and the
security message.
And the security advisor just being like, "Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I don't know him personally.
I left the journalist on. It's my fault.
It's my bad. But, like, that doesn't make it better. And why are we chatting about? At least Trump did say that. Like, I'd rather have them talking in the situation. Like, why are you doing this over text?
Like, okay, if you worked at, like, a cereal company, okay, as, like, in the executive, like, in the C-suite, okay, and you fucked up like that, like, you'd probably get fired.
Yeah.
But we have people that are literally making decisions that affect the lives of not only the veterans involved, but clearly the people that they're attacking, killing, under what agenda?
Just globally, people globally.
Globally, yeah. Like, it's astounding, absolutely astounding, the depths to which it's all fallen. But then again, like, I keep trying to be the optimist, the canary in the coal mine. Like, maybe that's the point. Maybe like the entire structure needs a forest fire.
Well, I mean, wasn't the whole, we're draining the swamp, we're getting rid of everybody, but like, then drain the swamp.
Well, they are the swamp. That's
right. Like then actually drain it, because like
they are the
you've
swamp.
got people in walkers and like it's their 20th term. Like, can we just stop?
Yeah.
Can we stop?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
And you got AIPAC and all the Israel stuff. It's just it's all a mess right now.
Yes, I did hear they use Signal to communicate. We had somebody ask us, but yes.
Yeah, heard they use Signal to communicate. Yeah. Which is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, we can have, dozens upon dozens of messaging apps, but the government can't have one that you talk about, classified information on that it automatically excludes reporters.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, holy crap.
No, these people.
Holy buckets. Again, you can't make this shit up.
No.
Like, you just can't.
There's this. So he's not big on X, doesn't like it. No Twitter. But
X is my ex.
X is his ex. Yes, he used to like Twitter for sports, but
and I still call it Twitter.
Right. There is like a huge noticing going on regarding like where the funding is, specifically AIPAC. They're Lobbyist. Is that correct? Yeah. And they're able to fund all this money, but like apparently it's very questionable as to why they fund the majority of our candidates that are currently in term. So that's
clearly for situations just like what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, pretty obviously.
It's astounding though, once you go down like the AIPAC, deep dive hole, the rabbit hole. It's
AIPAC, AIPAC.
Yeah.
AIPAC. Okay, so
you can't, like you said, you can't make this stuff up, and it's verifiable information. So like
AIPAC stands for American Israel Political Action Committee.
Maybe. Yeah. Sounds about right, but it's insane when you go and you read the depths of like, wow, like this money and these decisions are being made long term and not by us guys. We're the constituents, and like that's not the bottom line. We're not the bottom line.
Haven't been for a while. Well, yeah, and that's the thing, is that like that's the part that I don't understand, is we keep re-electing the same people that have stood by and participated in the robbing blind of the middle class, the hollowing out of the middle class for the last 50 years. I mean, seriously.
Yes, it is both sides, to be fair. It's both 100%
both sides.
Yes.
Look, Nancy Pelosi's been there just as long as John Cornyn's been there.
And she's doing stock market exchanges that like are need to be looked into.
Yeah.
Like,
it's absolutely both sides. And I think that's kind of the point. I mean, Chuck Schumer's been in office longer than I've been alive, and I'm not that young. I'm really not that young.
No, it's crazy.
It's pretty nuts. And again, these are the same people that have been here like since it began to really erode, since it really began
trickle down.
I think, you know what I mean? Like, there was some really, you could see a turning point. If you really, really look back, you could see a turning point, like, frankly, after Nixon. I think people got jaded with like the establishment as it stood. And I think that really, really kind of sent us on a spiral. And then the two oil crisis back to back in like 73
well, there's
and 77.
Just so much you could say this did.
No, but I'm just saying it's clearly it's the thing, the two oil crises and then Reagan. And after Reagan broke the code in showing
economics.
that you can trick the
people
into giving their money away to the rich. You can actually trick them into doing this, to giving their money away to the rich in an effort that more may come back later. Well, and it never does.
And you know how that's provable? We have more billionaires now more than ever,
which is insane.
And yet more expendable income, supposedly. Like, who's using it?
Not mine.
It's not my income. And why hoard the wealth? Like, for what purpose?
Well, I think here's the thing. Like, they're used to
security. Like, you're not gonna die. You got $1 billion.
Being the coolest, biggest, strongest, most powerful is clearly an American thing. And I will say this, that this specifically the baby boomer generation has the capacity to rise to power to and then, get to the cloud and then pull the ladder up after them. Part of the underlying social contract in achieving or building or growing anything is that you leave a little behind so the next guy can get started.
Right. Social contract.
Yeah.
Social expectation. But these are just normal things that, again, the working class, everyday citizen is used to.
To that end, Lindsey Graham is up for re-election.
Yes, he is. So let's get him out, guys, because really, Lindsey Graham, didn't he like fall asleep recently? And
they all probably fall asleep sometimes.
But like seriously, he's been there for
falling asleep on the job is probably the least harmful thing Lindsey Graham has done.
Yeah, fair. I will give him that. I don't give him much.
He's one of those been there way too long and done some bad deeds.
We
all know it. That's the thing, is we all know it. Where is the candidate that's running down the middle and stands on the debate stage and just goes like, this side has robbed you blind, this side has robbed you blind, and the crying shame is that you all already know it, and yet you keep putting them in office, and I'm the change.
Right.
Where is that?
Where is that person?
That seems like the easiest, most low-hanging fruit, obvious political thing, biggest elephant in the room. I mean, serious, you can't get some Ivy League educated, 40-something to do that? That I'm also astounded by.
Is it the Ivy League education? No, and I don't mean Ivy League, but is it the pedigree that we've now put on our candidates? Like, how about we stop looking for a pedigree?
I don't know if it's a pedigree necessarily.
Yes, it is. It's lawyer or businessman, like veteran. Like, there's a very set structure of like, oh, I can't get into office. I've done some stuff. Just live in a transparent world and it's fine. Okay, we've all done stuff. Okay, where's that candidate? Please, God, come. Tell us.
So let's move on from the politics.
We will. Sorry.
It's not a political show.
No, it's not. So 23andMe is going bankrupt.
Shocked.
Right?
Shocked.
Yeah. 23. It's amazing because just a huge boom that happened when it was like, oh, I can find out where I'm from. I can look for my ancestors. Like, what? Well, apparently everybody did it, and now they're bankrupt because nobody else.
Well, think about the overhead.
Right. Not to mention, like, the new people already then have their parents 23andMe, and they're like, I can figure it out.
We're going to establish a flat fee system.
Right.
Okay. For
doesn't seem like it's
retrieving anyone, and I mean anyone who submits a DNA sample, okay, their entire family tree. Mm-hmm. I don't see how that was ever going to be long-term cost effective.
No.
Because I would assume, and trust me, I am no scientist.
I just remember everybody jumped on the bandwagon at the same time.
I would assume that cost wildly varies. Mm-hmm. Like wildly varies to track that information down, however it may be accessed, whatever.
Based on the person. Yeah.
Right.
Or the genetics or
even the fact
need.
That the fact that like some people
I don't know.
Even the fact that I would assume that even the fact that like some people that submit to 23andMe are like 85 and some people are like 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even just that.
Right.
Seems like it. Like the 85-year-old seems like it would cost like way more. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does cost more. I don't really know. It just seems like no matter what, it's a flawed system. The amount of overhead involved for the service provided is absolutely insane.
And was there is it a one-time service? Was there tracking? Like, was there a follow-up that you could be provided with? Like, it's just, I never did it, so I don't know, but it just seems like a flawed business model. If it's a one-time.
Yeah. All of it does. All the genealogy
stuff. They're going bankrupt. So there is that.
All of the genealogy stuff seems like ultimately something that like, it's awesome. I'm not saying it's not, and I'm not, but at the same time, like, I don't see how long-term it's a profitable business model.
However,
unless you have like some kind of like sliding scale. I don't know, but like,
I can tell you, our children have never had a genealogy project. What's up with that? Like,
you mean like to talk in school about the family tree?
Because like we had to, I had to.
Well, I think, here's why, because there are more, there are more broken families. And so like, that's a topic that's become less the norm since the 90s, since you were in school.
That makes sense.
You know?
That makes sense. I'm like, why aren't they teaching kids about genetics? Well, because it opens up.
Sometimes those family conversations can be depressing.
It opens up a wound that we weren't expecting in school.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe conversations they want to avoid.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
That does make sense. Yeah.
Well, Mom was doing lines of coke last night, so like you know what I mean?
I do.
And then some other 10-year-old's like, "What's coke?" And
right, and then it's like you get a call from
mm-hmm.
so and so's mom, and oh boy,
not getting tenure now, are you, Miss Robbins? Like it's.
So I know I've mentioned it in passing to you, but like this Bridget and Emmanuel Macron thing is just wild. Like it's a conspiracy theory, I guess, going around that Emmanuel is actually married to a man, and this is the French prime minister.
Yeah, the president.
Yeah. And he met this 39-year-old when he was 15, which is
he was in school. She was a teacher.
Yeah, arguably
his teacher.
Yeah, arguably pretty questionable. Like,
but I'm on the other side of this though.
I know, that's why I want to talk to you about it, because like I don't there. It could be just like a teacher student, or then it dives way, like if you read into it's saying that she could be his dad, which I'm not going to get into, but like it's just, how do you think that that's acceptable? Like the 39 and 15 student teacher.
Well, she's 23 years older than him.
Right. Okay? That's a big,
which is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not condoning that. Okay. But what I am saying is I do not think that she is his dad. Okay. For one.
Okay.
Two, I do not think that she was born male either.
Okay.
I do not think that.
Okay.
I think she is actually Bridget Macron. Okay. Probably Macron. I don't really know. I'm pronouncing it like some ignorant American, but no, I do think they're really husband and wife. Here's why. Because they're so high profile. It would be more than a conspiracy theory.
Now, that's some of the rub, is that there's some blank spaces. And
that's kind of like the whole Michelle Obama thing.
It's only
similar.
Yeah.
It has a similar tinge to it. And I just don't, that's like,
we need solid evidence for transparency.
That's
we need solid evidence. Yeah. We need solid evidence.
Well, if you're going to claim that, like, you know what I mean? I'm not.
That's why I wanted to ask. I don't know. Like, it's getting traction all over social media.
Well,
and I know a big part is because
she's just 23 years older than him. And he's like, how old is he? Like, look it up real quick. How old is Emmanuel?
You're faster. Here.
He's in his what, like 60s or
something? Yeah. You're super typer.
Yeah.
Let's go right here.
Yeah.
There we are. We're going to check this out for you. He is 47 years old.
Okay, yeah. Old. So, that makes sense. He's approaching 50. So that means she's approaching like 70. Okay.
She doesn't look it. She looks great for her age.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's the age gap that you're seeing more than anything. Like, she's, you know what I mean? She's clearly older than him when you see them together. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, I think it's that more than anything. They have 3 children together.
Were they biological children? Let's check that out.
Well, did they take a 23andMe? How would we ever know? How would we ever know?
It comes back around.
I hope they beat the bankruptcy. Man, that would be a crying shame right there.
Oh man. All right, we can move on from that. So, Luigi Mangione.
I love Luigi.
I don't want us to forget him, because we all have watched true crime. We all know the legal system takes a long time. Let's not forget Luigi. Okay. So in Luigi news today, and I just thought this was adorable. They had to meet because he was getting heart-shaped notes put in these Argyle socks that he had requested because he has them for fashion needs, which really,
he's a weird guy.
He's such a weird guy.
I love
the right. You love what he brought the awareness to. Okay.
Somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to do something. I don't want to be all like canceled before it starts, but
I'm
like
not saying that. No, I'm not
no,
saying him
right.
specifically, but I'm
But
saying like,
somebody had to like bring it to the attention of the masses that like, hey, we're all getting fucked.
right.
Like it's not just you dealing with United
And again, like
Healthcare.
it's what I'm saying is that it's like it is such a well-known thing that like the healthcare system is broken and is exacting its revenge on the people for some reason.
And yet so much money goes into it.
And
Whether it's ours, governments, it like doesn't matter. Money goes into the healthcare system, but like people are getting worse.
well, yeah. Yeah. And what I'm saying is the frustration with that was going to like, okay, I'm not trying to return to politics or Trump. I'm not, but like he was going to get shot at some point. Like I'm not at all shocked. I am not at all shocked. When
Right.
you are that divisive,
You're playing with people's lives. Like you're making judgment calls on whether somebody is going to live and die. And you're saying, well, I need my ski chalet.
And I think that's another clear signal that like if you're one of the like the 3%ers, the 5%ers, like look out. I mean, honestly, like,
and this
like
dials back to a point that we only hit on in episode 1.5, which was income inequality.
Yeah. Well, it's grown to that level where we've outpaced what the income gap was, the wealth gap during the French Revolution.
Right.
They literally dragged rich people out into the streets and beheaded them over less. Over less.
And I'm not suggesting we do that, but we got to do something.
I'm saying the levee had to go somewhere. It had to break somewhere. And if that's where it breaks, if that starts a conversation, then good. You know what I mean? But again, if they ignore that and it doesn't start a conversation,
but it does
just going to happen again.
It seems so glaringly obvious. The income inequality thing seems so glaringly obvious, but not enough people are talking about it. Why?
Because there's too many things to distract people. They disagree on dumb shit that they don't need to disagree on. Who goes into what bathroom?
Who the fuck?
What color are the Starbucks cups?
No.
Who are they putting on the beer can? It sounds stupid, but that's why.
And it's for both sides. I mean, everybody has their right qualms and issues.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
I don't.
But honestly, that's where the interests overlap, though, is economically. And at some point, there will be somebody that galvanizes that force. You think of like the sway that the American working class did basically from the Democrat side to the Republican side in this last election. That was a pretty large sway. So knowing that it can move like that, just imagine someone that truly inspired the middle class.
And we need like real inspiration, not fake. I look great on paper.
And I'm telling you, look, this is it's not even that complicated.
No.
Wealth gap, schmelth gap. Listen,
it's important.
I could pay down the deficit faster than Trump with the tariffs. That's also part of it. Must pay down the deficit. I could double the tax base overnight. Here, if minimum wage were just attached to inflation since its inception in 1967, it'd be over $27 an hour by now.
Jesus.
So I say we just make that the minimum wage.
Isn't it still like $7.25?
Federal.
Yeah.
So I say we make that the federal minimum wage. $20 is a nonsensical argument. It's not even close enough. So $27 an hour is the minimum wage. We would bring 47% of America doesn't pay taxes. What we would do is we would take 90% of that 47% that doesn't pay taxes, and they'd be on the tax roll. We would pay down the deficit inside 5 years.
Why don't they just do that then? Like because they won't.
Because corporations and companies are the ones that can, and wealthy people that own those corporations and companies are the ones that contribute to the political action committees.
We should not have ever let corporate America get involved with like the politics of it all, because it's about the people, not. Here we go back to politics. We're done. I wanted to remind everybody.
It's a political show.
It's not. I wanted to remind everybody, though, let's not forget about Luigi. Let's make sure we follow the case. And
you think he's gonna get off?
That's what she said. I don't know. The jury pool at this point, I mean, who doesn't know? It's going to be a hard press. Like this is a global thing. Like everybody knows Luigi. You have people in other countries wearing Luigi shirts. Like it's a thing.
That's what I mean. Like he's kind of like a cult hero.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. It makes sense. Not shocked. It's, that's what you get. You play with fire, you get burned. And you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty simple. It is pretty simple.
I do love the way that people that are rallying together on like social media sites or even in just your local conversations and like actually talking about these things for once. Like, because it's so salacious, because this guy did this thing that's so unheard of.
No.
Now you're going to talk healthcare in your local community. You've got these, the town halls. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm just so glad that people are talking,
right?
Because it seems like that's how we got here. It's just every divisive bit of information has made people go to their like little corner of the world. Like,
well,
this is my corner. I feel safe here, but it's like, oh shit.
I see it as like
we need community. We need people.
I see it as like we've all allowed ourselves to be programmed to some extent.
Yeah.
We've allowed ourselves to be programmed by.
Oh, our son would hate if we said indoctrinated.
Indoctrinated.
But programmed.
But we have though. Like,
well, I say they, like, just government media, like, it's been a proven thing that's doable.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? I think it is all. I mean, I saw this craziest like documentary that examined how much public school was preparing a labor-based workforce for working in factories. It was amazing about how like lunch is on a bell. You know what I mean? Like, it was like this comparison was amazing. And the buildings are all institutional and
I just don't understand like how 12 years, like, my education didn't work like that. Things didn't stick in 12 years and bust. Like, that's not how it works. That's not. If you would have asked 18-year-old me like certain things,
well, I kind of get it, right? I do.
Well, yes, it's your most like absorbing, knowledgeable.
Well, yeah, and there are also obviously like we have 3 children.
Yeah.
Together. Okay. There are obviously also phases that every child goes through. And I think that elementary school is a good lumping together of that grade group. Middle school is clearly the next phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think middle schoolers are ready to be around 15 to 18-year-olds all the time. So I think it's perfect that there's also high school. So I do see a rhythm to it in that way.
Yeah.
You know, I actually wish that education was more standardized than it is.
To some degree, sure.
Well, there's no reason, for instance, that like the South should perform so poorly. Like, you know what I mean? It seems like the lower income your state is, the worse it performs in education. There's no reason for that.
Right.
None.
Well, and we've got really bad education, like
public education.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that there is no more Department of Education,
I don't know how much that had to do with, you know what I mean, like the dumbing down of our society.
I also don't think public school is like the worst thing ever, though.
No, it's not. I mean, it's helpful, but
you know what I mean? Like, I think public school gets a pretty bad rap, honestly. You think about what teachers really do, like sacrifice. You know what I mean?
They have to pay for so much out of pocket. Like, my oldest friend is lifelong teacher, and the amount of things that they have to come out of pocket for, and you don't get reimbursed for this, like, as a teacher. Well, and then it's raise my child, but again, also let me scream at you while you raise my child.
But again, I'll go right back to wages, because all it really is like, honestly, they deserve to make a lot more money. By the way, let me just address this real quick. The sentiment that like athletes should make less than teachers is insane. I've heard so many people say that, like, I can't believe how much money LeBron James makes. You know, teachers should make that. Doctors should make that much. They save lives and shape young minds.
Well,
Okay, well, here's the thing. LeBron James is absolutely the best basketball player in the world, or at least was for some time. And if you're the best freaking doctor in the world, you're making LeBron James money.
How would you even rate?
If you're the best teacher in the world, you're probably also making some LeBron James money.
How would you even rate the best doctor in the world, though? Like, I did the best surgeries, all the best.
I don't know, because I don't make enough money to know him.
I want to know, like, I want that show on TV, like that reality show, to find the best doctor.
We will find the best.
We will find the best doctor
in the world.
I do want to tell you, one of our live people said you need to get some sleep, and yes, he does.
What's up?
Somebody said you needed to get some sleep, and
yeah,
I
work long hours.
Yeah,
I also have like genetically dark circles under my eyes.
Yes, yeah.
But
he's beautiful hair.
So anyway,
in TV news, Avengers new movie is Doomsday. However, now I will give them the fact that they are not just rebooting it. It's got Loki. It's got
you got your Loki.
You got your Loki. You got your Cyclops. Nightcrawler. You've got people from that have already been established within the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering where it's going to go, because every movie's done pretty poorly since Endgame.
I think that was it.
Like Endgame, and then like now it's just a few of us that are like diehards, and I think we read the comics. We want more stories.
I don't think that I don't think that everyone is over it, but I think enough people are over it. Are just over the whole superhero thing. That we're temporary fans of the whole movie.
Where do you think that money's going to go in Hollywood? Like, what's the next big to do? Like, what are they going to pour?
Everything is so fractured now.
Fragile too.
It's like
it's like everything's made of glass. It's insane.
It's just not even about Hollywood anymore. It's not about movies necessarily. I mean, Netflix does movies. Netflix does shows. Amazon does shows. There's everybody who does original content, and who knows where the next big thing's going to come from. My guess is it's one of these.
I can't wait for the next Harlan Coben thing. Like, can we get the next Harlan Coben thing out? Snap.
Or like a true crime thing, like how big Making a Murderer was, something like that, or something really weird like Tiger King. Those tend to be captivating too.
I've never seen Tiger King, but you watched it when I was laid up, I believe.
Give it a shot, man.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
You were very interested in Carol and her antics.
Fucking Carol.
Carol's crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah. Well, Joe's crazy too, though. I mean, you know what I mean? They're both crazy.
Wasn't he just this flamboyant, hustler, essentially? Like, when you break it down to who he is as a person, he's just he got by.
Yeah, but he did. I mean, whatever. He was a leader. He was a business owner.
Somehow.
Yeah. And
where was it?
I think it was in Florida. But well, yeah,
Florida, man.
I think, I don't know, but the thing is that what it showed to me is how easy it is to own a tiger.
Yeah, you'd think
it should be hard.
I'm surprised that people can own, what is it, pythons?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not saying maintain. Don't get ownership confused. I'm not saying can maintain a tiger. I think it's a horrendous idea. I don't endorse that anyone do it.
You mean in the home?
Yeah.
Well, didn't he do that? Didn't he have
Yeah.
A lot of people have exotic animals in their homes. Look at this exotic animal. He's crazy. Hi. This is Barry.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
This is an exotic puppy. Well, he's a Great Pyrenees, but he's sweet baby.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
And then of course in my entertainment news, there is already a documentary out. He Said, She Said. Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. And I don't know what to think about this, because first off, Justin got way ahead of it when he made a website and made his entire legal argument like public. That's a bold move when you're like a
Justin
Baldoni.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a public figure, so it's just weird that he would do that. Now, there have been some serious backlash to Blake, and even now, Ryan Reynolds. Like, what, you don't think, you're like, it's not gonna touch him? He's Teflon.
Like, it's just so stupid. Like, the whole thing is stupid.
You think it's all PR?
No, I don't think it's PR. I just think
I think Justin's like, Mr. Baldoni is hurt. Like, he really just wanted to do this movie, but like,
yeah, like I said, I just think the whole thing's stupid. Like,
it might be stupid, but like, who needs the ego?
It seems that she like tried to attack him with lies and like things that, accusing him of things that didn't actually happen, and you know what I mean. But like,
that's another court case that's not going to be held for like a year. I
don't really care.
And like, again, tainting the jury pool. And again, so this documentary is going out, and it's like, who are you going to have sit in the jury and decide in a manner that's not biased?
Well, it may not be a jury in this case. You know what I mean?
I think both of them are trial by jury. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll have to check on that.
Yeah, I don't really know, man. But either way, like, I mean, it seems that she's in the wrong. I don't have much beyond that. It doesn't surprise me. Like, Hollywood elites don't seem much better than regular elites.
No, and for those that don't know, she is Hollywood royalty. Like, comes from a long line of
Lively's.
Yeah. And her dad, there's something weird about how when her dad married her mom, he took the Lively name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very progressive.
Yes. Well, and this was pre-progressive. This was well before.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I do remember reading that. So, yeah, but anyways, what do you have anything else to, or as our boys say, any take backs, or
I have nothing to take back.
I will never take back.
Apologize for nothing. No. Sports Sweet 16.
Yes. What is the sport we do? We do need let's close on some sports. We need some sports knowledge.
I've got nothing beyond the Sweet 16 starts tomorrow, Thursday. Real excited. I have a day off. First day off in the last 10 days. Pretty excited about it.
Exciting.
Probably just going to take care of other stuff, you know what I mean? But it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, Sweet 16 starts Thursday. Beloved Michigan's still in it. Michigan State's still in it.
Michigan State's still there?
Mm-hmm. Both are.
And Michigan.
Mm-hmm. But no, there's like all the mid-majors are gone at this point. And, Drake bounced out. McNeese bounced out. McNeese, by the way, Joe Dumar's alma mater. Most people don't know that. Yeah. Joey D.
I know that name.
I know you do. I know you do.
My lack of sports knowledge is astounding. Especially for being married to a sports guru.
Guru?
Well, like, yeah, like stats and stuff.
I don't think I'm a guru.
Guru.
Can't do that. Canceled immediately.
Always.
Canceled.
Cancel before you start. Well, that's our show. Thank you for hanging with us and talking about everything and nothing. I mean, it's pretty much what we're here for, right?
Always.
All right.
Adios.